kid with an ant farm. He's not planning it.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Ideas are beautiful. Be my victim.
If we're really living in a simulation, what simulation would you like it to be and why?
A steampunk as much as possible. That'd be great.
I want the possibility of respawning endlessly if I ever do like actually die in the game, right?
Oh, yeah.
I like the
course.
idea of endless
didn't even think of that.
respawning, like Grand Theft Auto, something like that, or something where I have the potential of leveling up and acquiring new skills, new items and magical shit like that. Like a good example of what I'm talking about would be, weirdly enough, World of Warcraft. I've never been a big fan of World of Warcraft personally, but I like the idea of something like that.
I mean, I was thinking Zelda.
Zelda, you know what?
And
Shit.
just all the other games I've played where they allow you to respawn.
You've helped me come to my answer.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Well,
More
Pokemon.
specifically, Pokemon.
You say Pokemon, I say Pokemon. Am I saying it wrong?
Both are right.
Oh, they are.
Both. As long as you don't say Pokemon. That's what it was.
That's horrible.
That's the one that all my teachers in grade school used to that, and my parents too. Why couldn't anybody pronounce it right?
I don't know.
When I'm telling, okay, if I'm telling you Pokemon or Pokemon, and you're looking at me and saying Pokemon, that's the moment where it should be socially acceptable for you to bitch slap your parents in the face. I
Well,
apologize to anybody.
It's
That might have
pretty
been really loud.
Would you say it's on the same level as when I used to not know how to say Naruto?
No.
I don't even know how I used to say it. But
No, but the way that you were saying it was vastly different than the way that everybody else says, which
misspeak.
is Naruto.
Oh.
Oh,
How did I
you
used to
people
say
make
it?
me want to punch you in the throat.
But how did
Those
I used
people.
to say it? Because I don't even know how I used to say it now.
I don't remember either. But it,
Yeah.
it wasn't
I'm just
Naruto.
glad I can say it now.
It wasn't no Naruto.
Yeah.
But yeah, I stick very strong on Pokemon Heart Gold. Why?
Never played it.
Why? Ho-Oh.
What?
At the end of the game, you can catch Ho-Oh.
What's
And
a
Ho-Oh, out of
Ho-Oh?
all the legendaries, was probably my favorite.
What's a Ho-Oh?
Ho-Oh, okay, in the very beginning, in the first episode of Pokemon, I know we're gonna get to the main topic in a second here, but I gotta explain this because this is important. Ho-Oh, in the first episode of Pokemon, Ash sees Ho-Oh flying over, and he's known to grant wishes, basically. And in that moment, it's him and Pikachu. He just got Pikachu, and he wishes he could journey forever with Pikachu, go and adventure forever. And I think that it supports the idea that why Ash always looks like a 10-year-old boy. Even though it's like
aged.
20, he never looks like he ages in the show.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't remember the show that much. I watched it when I was a kid.
I just know that Misty never got her bike. Misty never got her bike back.
Oh.
And that was unfair.
Yeah. You need me.
I do need you.
That hurt. Your knee is bony.
Yeah, I stand behind the theory, I stand behind my answer as Pokemon Heart Gold. Why? Heart Gold? Of all the Pokemon remakes of the older games, the Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver games were the best. So, fuck yeah.
Well, that's kind of like how I am with Fallout series, which is, my mind is already on theories right now, conspiracy theories and all that shit. But Fallout New Vegas is really good. It's a better story compared to Fallout 3, Fallout 1, Fallout 2, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Fallout 76 is just an online game for you to play with your friends.
So you'll never fall out of love with Fallout?
No, I think it's great. I love the whole... That is funny. I don't know, I just like the aesthetic of Fallout New Vegas.
I'm going to be
Great.
thinking about this.
I hate the whole cowboy bullshit, and I hate half the music that... They don't force you to play. You can turn off the Pip-Boy and music, and it's great. That you could just hear the sounds of the wasteland without listening to the music. Some of the songs are alright, because it's kind of just back music. It's just chill. But most of it, when it gets to the cowboy shit, it's like, all right, I'm turning off the Pip-Boy. It's fun. It's a great game. So I get what you're saying with the whole.
My second
Pokemon.
answer is going to be the Naruto universe.
Oh yeah.
But, you know, that's just for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I could be a ninja as a profession, and I could die with honor. That'd be fucking cool.
That would be great. I
But
mean, at
in
that
Pokemon,
point,
it's just so much more innocent.
yeah.
No one dies in Pokemon.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway.
That's why I can't give you a good answer of what kind of simulation would I like. I hate to be stereotypical. Maybe I would say The Matrix, because you have the quote-unquote real world, but then you can also leave the real world, but their form of real world is really boring. So.
But their form of the real world is actually terrifying.
It is pretty terrifying. You're fighting off what was it? Viruses.
They're robots.
They're robots, but
They're-
they called them viruses, right?
I don't
So-
remember that clearly, but what I do
You'd have to
remember
rewatch
clearly
it.
is that The Matrix is the follow-up to
The
Terminator.
First is the only good one.
Now that I know that
Follow-up to Terminator.
that's the follow-up to
I
Terminator.
didn't know that.
It's supposed to happen I don't remember how many years, but it's like a bunch of years after Terminator, but it was written by the same woman. And
Oh.
what kills me about that they fucked up about The Matrix, even though Keanu
Mhm.
did a great job as Neo,
He's always been a great actor.
I still to this day
A great human being.
I hold strong that Will Smith could have been a really good Neo. I think he could have been a really good
But
Neo.
he was amazing in I Am Legend. That's where, his character, well, yeah, I agree with you. Because, have you seen I Am Legend?
Yeah, of course. I love that
Okay,
movie.
then you remember it.
Yeah, great movie. Really sad, but if I had to choose between him being in I Am Legend and him being in The Matrix, I would definitely have chose him
I
to
can
be in The
see
Matrix.
that, but
But I also think it would have been
Keanu
better
Reeves is
and
really
more.
good at it too. They're both kind of head to head on that one.
But it would
I
have
think
been
they're
as
both really
originally
good.
intended. Because it was
You're
supposed.
right.
It makes more sense when you realize that he, just a person of color being in that role makes more sense for the whole story.
Well, they had the form of a god, wasn't he? Fuck, what was the
A
guy's...
god?
No, not form
Or are you
of a
talking
god,
about
but the one that was like red pill or blue pill. I forgot.
guy.
What was he considered?
Morpheus?
Morpheus.
Morpheus?
He wasn't considered what would, people nowadays consider what is a god. But in the movie, he was kind of below the form of their, their higher...
He was at the very least, I remember, he was like
the
a
one
mentor.
that brings you in. He
He was
brings
at
you
least-
into the Matrix.
He knew his shit,
So
for sure.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I see what you're saying though. Like I said, it's kind of head to head on Keanu Reeves and well, how do you say his name?
Will Smith?
Will Smith. I'm sorry, I lost track of because I'm thinking about simulation theory and all this shit. So I forgot you said Will Smith. I'm sorry,
Fuck.
but yeah, I don't know. I think they're head to head. They're really both amazing actors. But I've
Can
only
somebody
seen...
make this with AI?
Well, I don't want to exactly. I don't want to go into tangent, but I only really know Will Smith in I Am Legend. He was amazing in that film, but I'm not a big movie buff person. So it's kinda
I
hard
was
to
a
say.
huge fan of
He should have been in Pulp Fiction.
I was a huge fan of Prince of Bel-Air. I'm not gonna lie.
I never watched it.
I loved that show.
I wasn't a 90s TV kind of kid. When I mean, if I did watch anything, Courage. But I thought Courage came out in 2000s.
Courage is definitely a 2000s show for sure.
Okay, yeah. So I don't remember the 90s. When I was a kid, I can't really say much on that. I liked Three's Company, but you're...
A lot of your fellow millennials are gonna hard disagree because they romanticize the shit out of the 90s.
Yeah, I only remember, the toy bullshit and all that, but
As
not
much as the
shows
90s
as
were
much.
great for entertainment, I think the 2000s were better, and I stand behind that. So fuck y'all 90s romanticizers.
Yeah.
But if you read the title of the episode, we're talking today about simulation theory, and I'm excited to talk about this one, mostly just because the idea of simulation theory just being the idea that we're living in a simulation already proposes so many other ideas and so many different other avenues of thought that it sparks a lot of conversation, it sparks ideas, and it supports things like manifestation, law of attraction, and shit like that. A lot of these other ideas are supported by things like just the basic premise of simulation theory, and it also raises other questions that make you think. And I think it's a fun topic.
Yeah. Like the simulation hypnosis one that I was showing you.
Yes.
That were hypnotized before entering the simulation of some sort. I still have to read more into
if the
that
basis
again,
of simulation theory is that that our souls are hypnotized or something to that effect, I fuck with that.
Yeah.
That actually, it's a little too similar to the Matrix, except without having a literal USB jack in our neck.
Exactly.
So simulation theory, or simulation hypothesis, proposes that what humans experience as the world is actually a simulated reality, such as a computer simulation, in which humans themselves are constructs. There has been much debate over the topic, ranging from philosophical discourse to practical applications in computing.
One website says something similar to that, but that we are all living in an extremely powerful computer program.
Yeah, it would have to be pretty powerful.
An entity outside of physical comprehension. In this situation, humans are not necessarily real and tangible beings, but instead predetermined, coded, constructed. I'm just reading it with the commas.
Yeah.
Constructions of digital world we inhabit. Living in a simulation can be linked to living in. Oh, it's almost like, so they're saying, I'm gonna quickly sum it up so you I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, you're fine.
But they're saying it's like the game of The Sims. It's like The Sims. I always thought that when
that's what most
I used
people
to play
think.
The Sims a lot, and I still have The Sims on my PlayStation 4. It really is much like The Sims.
Except whoever's
If it is
moving me
real.
around is fucking shit up left and right. They need to.
Well, in the Sims, it's kind of like, this is the beauty of The Sims, because I know you didn't play it as much as I have in my life.
Yeah.
I hate to admit to that, but I won't deny it. In The Sims, if you don't pause the game and you just walk away for a second and come back, The Sims have a mind of their own where they just do whatever they feel like doing. Let's say they're standing there and they get bored. Well, now I'm going to go outside and stand out in the middle of the road or something. They're not going to get hit.
I love the idea of a sim just being like, the person playing isn't doing anything, so I'm gonna go play in traffic.
For my Sims, they would start cooking when I didn't teach them well enough, and they would try something really difficult, and I would come back and there would be a fire. I'm not kidding you. One of my Sims died right away, and I was like, oh shit, things like that. Or if you stop the game but save where the checkpoint and you come back to the game and you didn't really pause it. From what I remember, it still plays on, at least in Sims 4.
See, my problem was that when I played Sims, I chose their profession as a graphic designer, so they just sat in front of their computer and just gamed all day. They didn't actually do work or look for work. They sat there and gamed all day.
I wish I could
had
have
the
that
most
profession.
boring ass sim ever.
Yeah.
But they were hot.
Mm.
I wish I looked like my sim.
Oh, stop.
Anyway.
I think we all can relate on that one. We make a sim that, if we make ourselves in the sim, but in a version of ourselves that we wish that we could look like in our own eyes.
Well, whoever created this sim...
But what is a mirror? If you really think about it. Is the mirror another alternate reality? That's a whole other topic.
And then you put a mirror behind it, and then you got all these layers of reality stacked on top of each other.
So what is mirrors in the simulation, then? Because they have mirrors in the Sims.
Do they do the mirror trick? Have you tried?
What do you mean?
If you put one mirror... Okay, if you put one mirror in front of you and one mirror behind you, you know how you have that, like, if you move slightly to the left, you can see, like, multiple distortion, or, like,
I've
multiples
never
of yourself.
That, no.
Oh, it's fun. It's really fun. That's why funhouse mirrors are great.
Oh, okay. I hate
like
funhouse mirrors,
or like hall of mirror type. However they do that in like carnivals and shit. But yeah, you get like duplicates of you behind you, and they all kind of follow the same act. It's almost like it just keeps spanning backwards.
Okay.
And behind you, it does the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's wild. Somehow the mind comes up with this all on its own, and that's what's freaky as hell to me about mirrors like that. But the origins of simulation theory are that Human history is full of thinkers who've observed the difference between how things seem and how things might actually be, with dreams, illusions, hallucinations, and providing poetic and philosophical metaphors. For example, The Butterfly Dream by Zhuangzi is Zhuangzi. I'm just gonna go on a limb and hope that I'm right on that one. But from ancient China, or the Indian philosophy of Maya, or in ancient Greek philosophy,
This website that
Anaxarchus.
I'm on is fascinating. Are you on the same? Are you on?
Oh no, this.
Um,
I'm starting
is
things off
saying-
on Wikipedia, and then I'm gonna move
Oh,
on.
I don't go to Wikipedia. I got a different one here. I'm at where it says the odds are what a simulation is, and it's saying we are the
Okay, so they
You'll find
believe in sim type simulation theory.
That's what I would
got
believe
one.
more.
I got one in a little bit that's
Mhm.
like MMORPG
Oh, okay.
style. Yeah. But as I was saying, like there's multiple examples of like throughout history people, talking about something similar to simulation theory. In Western philosophical tradition, Plato's allegory of the cave stands out as an influential example. I don't know if you remember that one.
I'm not sure.
Okay, let me see if I can pull this up. Okay, so in the allegory, Plato describes people that have spent their lives chained in a cave facing a blank wall. They watch shadows projected onto the wall by objects passing in front of a fire behind them, and they give names to the shadows. The shadows are the prisoner's reality, but not accurate representations of the real world. The shadows represent the fragment of reality that we can normally perceive through our senses, while the objects under the sun represent the true forms of the objects that we can only perceive through reasons.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I've always thought that was a great explanation.
I got to a point in this website. I actually asked a really good question, and the answer and their own idea of it.
Okay.
How would simulation reality work? What would you answer? How would you answer that question?
How would simulation theory actually work?
How would simulation reality work? The
Well,
way that their answer to it is interesting. But I'm
my
curious what
answer
yours is.
to how simulated existence would work is that I have a twofold answer on that, because I think it's one or the other.
They do too.
Either it is
this website
purely
does as well.
computer based, and you have this civilization that has developed technology so well to the point where, kind of like how we were talking about how CDs might be coming back because they found a way to compress
I
CDs on
remember
top
that.
of each
That's
other,
fascinating.
where they can stack supercomputer levels of technology onto a disk. I'm thinking in the same way that we continue to make technology able to fit so much more information into smaller forms, they've done the same thing and have developed a massive computer, or just a lot of somewhere where they could store all of that information.
Yeah.
And so that is when they create this simulated world, which would be our universe as we know it, which seems to always be, according to science, ever expanding and whatnot. So it's either that, and it could be either, Sims, MMORPG, whatever, but it's computer based, or it's purely thought form and spiritual based, where it is all, how the spirit perceives their
like in a
experience.
dreamlike state. That I remember reading about something someone talked about. I don't know their name, but what you're about to say. Yeah.
Because
They were talking about it's almost like we're all in a dreamlike state. But
Yeah.
who is the main big dreamer? At the end of the day, the way that they explain is we're all dreaming, but a different dream.
What if there are
meshed
multiple
together.
Azathoth
Yeah.
type beings, sleeping dreamers that create universes as we sleep? And what if we're all that? And that's why we have so many universes stacked on top of each other. What if that's what the real meaning of, all the world religions that describe, we can achieve a level of, godhood or whatever, that we are God is within us. And that's what they're really getting at. They just all have a different way of explaining it,
Yeah.
It basically, I have spiritual or technological.
Yeah.
That's my two answers to that question.
I mean, it's close to what they said.
Okay.
This is really interesting the way that they put it. Everything we know is simulated. This is the first answer that they give. Then they put, in the first scenario, This assumes that everything that exists, including every person, environment, object, occurrence, and sensation, is a byproduct of a code. So we're basically all big code. Anyway, the scenario would require hardware powerful enough to simulate all of these components in known physics on a highly detailed intergalactic scale. Reality in this reality, I'm trying to read it quick. Reality in this sense may be imagined as a elaborate open world program that is running on a supercomputer or quantum computer beyond our capable understanding. And then they go, the next part would be the world we know is simulated, and then they explain that next scenario. They have a lot of scenarios here. I could sum it up while I definitely want to hear your thoughts on that. You know, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think you summarized it pretty well. I mean,
this website really, they explain, that's a really interesting theory, in my opinion. Everything's a code of some kind. You know, like they said, like The Sims. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the main simulation argument comes from this piece written by Nick Bostrom. Okay. So the simulation argument stems...
I wonder if the microphone picked up our neighbors being drunk. Holy shit. She's like singing like she's on crack. Hello. You alright? Do you need an ambulance? You alright, lady?
Even Rebecca Black sings better than that.
Who the hell's that?
Friday.
Do you think I would know pop music? Come on.
I'm surprised I even know that.
I'm surprised you know it too. I don't know dick about that stuff. Sorry, go on. It just threw me off. Our neighbors singing.
What a great little distraction from
goddamn simulation. Because we're talking about the simulation, so they had to throw in a drunk lady outside.
Yeah, distraction. Think about something else.
Yeah. No, don't think about what's going on around you. Don't do it. Don't do it.
But as I was saying, Nick Bostrom's premise, who, you know, I believe popularized the main theory coming from a let's see. I don't know if this is a book or if this is a blog post or whatever, but in 2003, titled "Are You Living in a Computer Simulation?" The premise is many works of science fiction, as well as some forecast by serious technologists and futurologists, however you say that, predict that enormous amounts of computing power will be available in the future. Let us suppose for a moment that these predictions are correct. One thing that later generations might do with their super powerful computers is run detailed simulations of their forebears, or of people like their forebears, whatever forebears are. Because
sounds like a bar. The Four Bears. Come on and have our new beer that we just came up with. Welcome to Four Bears.
It sounds like a beer.
It also sounds like bears, but not bears like human bear, like humans.
Poop. That's what
I don't know. I got thrown off by the drunk lady outside, and I'm reading my website, and this is fascinating. What they're saying, you might really like. You might fuck with this next scenario, but I'm sorry.
Anyway,
didn't mean to interrupt.
Bostrom's main possibility, it's just regurgitating the same shit that we've already said here.
Oh, this one though doesn't. This one is not the one that I'm reading.
Oh wait. Hold on. Mm-hmm. I gotta read this part. Mm-hmm. Suppose that these simulated people are conscious, as if they would, be if the simulations were sufficiently fine-grained, and if a certain quite widely accepted position in the philosophy of mind is correct. Then it would be the case that vast majority of minds like ours do not belong to the original race, but rather to people simulated by the advanced descendants of an original race. The conclusion is, it is then possible to argue that if this were the case, we would be rational to think that we are likely among the simulated minds rather than among the original biological ones. Therefore, if we don't think that we are currently living in a computer simulation, we are not entitled to believe that we will have descendants who will run lots of simulations of their forebears.
Okay.
And think, this was written in 2003.
Oh, I don't know when this article is written that I'm reading, but this second scenario. So let's see. Humans themselves are real and organic, but that the world and number of people that surround us are simulated. To carry this out, we would have to trick our consciousness into thinking that we are in true reality, in which all sensations feel lifelike, and simulated characteristics mimicking humans are able to pass the Turing test. Now, I might be pronouncing this wrong, but the Turing test, Turing, it sounds like Turing. I might be pronouncing
I think that's Turing.
So basically, that test is a computer and human are asked questions to determine which is human. If the computer is indisguisable about the human, it passes the Turing test. If I said that correctly. I kind of said that quick. I pronounce words incorrectly
Not
sometimes.
Indisguisable, but indistinguishable.
Oh, I'm sorry. Indisguisable. I'm so bad when I read quickly.
Indistinguish.
Yeah. So knowing what a Turing test is, long after that, with powerful computing hardware, this scenario would also require artificial intelligence, complex enough to be perceived as real by human mind. Simulation theory in this scenario can be illustrated by the movie The Matrix, of course, right?
Duh. We can't talk about simulation theory without that. Yeah.
The film depicts, we already know.
Yeah, we don't have to.
It talks about The Matrix, so that's the one that, that second scenario. It's really interesting to me because you have one that's a code, but then you also have the second scenario, which is we believe that we are organic, but
not we have to believe that we're organic.
But there's also a computer that is intelligent enough that tricks us, right? To trick us to.
I mean,
like,
anybody
who's
put on a VR headset can attest to how easy it is to trick the mind. Like,
there's a sensation, I can't remember what it's called, but when I remember when I was on VR chat, where it was just on my computer, not with a VR headset, someone told me, oh, you have the sensation where if I touch you, it looks like I'm touching you, but you just see it through the computer screen. You can feel my touch. I'm like, yeah. It's wild.
Because your brain fills in the gaps.
My brain fills in the gaps. Yeah. And they were like, oh, imagine being with the headset. It's wild. Like, it feels like you're in that reality. It doesn't matter if we're all a bunch of anime characters or fucking, furries, whatever.
Because if you spend enough time in that reality, your brain starts to adapt. And that is just like a true testament to the brain's ability to adapt to new surroundings. An example that I heard in like a YouTube video or a podcast or something was that, if you're in the simulated reality and you and in that simulation there's a table in front of you and you want to put like your drink or a remote down, you'll go to do that, and then you'll feel your hand slip right through it, and you'll be like, you'll forget that you're in the simulation. Experience.
Yeah, people running into walls and shit.
And like when I was listening to Will Ramos, singer of Lorna Shore, there was a podcast where Nick Nocturnal was interviewing him. What he does is he likes racing VR simulation. So he puts on a VR headset, but he specifically has his whole setup right next to a window, so that he hears the road outside and he can stick his head outside to kind of add more to, because one thing that VR is missing, which is what like 5D movie theaters are starting, or it's either 4D or 5D movie theater, because we've had 3D. 4D adds things like smell and wind and things like that to your already 3D movie experience.
Oh yeah, of course.
So like when you're got the VR
headset,
not headset, but like for 3D movies.
There's other terms for it.
No, when you go to like a movie theater and you buy tickets to see it in 3D, they give you the glasses. That's what it is. I can't believe I forgot the word.
I thought you were talking about, the actual VR headset.
No, but they give you the glasses that have one red eye, or one red lens and one blue lens.
Yep,
so
and it
that
makes things pop out at you.
Yeah. It's just another layer on top of that. And I don't know where I was going with that, but it just adds more layers to that, and it just kind of makes the entire experience even more real to really feel like you are in the movie. Wild to think about where that would go in the future.
Oh, of course.
I don't think we're too far away from being able to, to do that.
Not at all.
But the amount of money that would have to go into VR movies theaters. This is too much of a brain.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The brain fucker.
But to expand on what you were saying before about the Turing test, Bostrom actually expands upon it and says that in order for our reality to actually be a simulation, one of these 5 conditions needs to be met, which is, the first one is human civilization or a comparable civilization is unlikely to reach a level of technological maturity capable of producing simulated realities, or such simulations are physically impossible to construct. We have to believe that to be true. 2, a comparable civilization reaching a aforementioned technological status will likely not produce a significant number of simulated realities, one that might push the probable existence of digital entities beyond the probable number of real entities in the universe. So, like, you got to have enough NPCs and real players, so, so on.
Sorry to interrupt, but it made me chuckle. It's on the website's called Wired. Never heard of it. But it starts off with, "Of course we are living in a simulation. The only people who absolutely disagree are, scientists. They need to get over themselves and join the fun." I just thought that was cute. I'm like, aw. Right.
Oh my god, that's fucking great.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
But I was starting to think that his argument was to kind of like say, okay, here are my reasons why it might not be true. But I was just misreading that. 3 is any entities with our general set of experiences are almost certainly living in a simulation. 4, humans are living in a reality in which post-humans have not developed yet, and current humans are actually living in reality.
Okay.
So
What does
that
it
one
mean by that?
fucks my brain up a little bit. Humans are living in a reality in which post-humans have not developed yet, and currently humans are actually living in reality.
What? I feel like my brain stopped working hearing that one.
Okay,
So
he's
we're-
saying at least one of these arguments has to be true. Not that... Okay, now I get it.
Oh.
One of
alright.
these 5 has to be true.
According to him.
According to him. So basically, post-humans have not yet developed that type of a thing, and that we're actually living in reality. And then there's 5. Humans have no way of knowing that they live in a simulation because they will never reach the technological capacity to realize the marks of a simulated reality. And I feel like if that one's true, it's by design.
Yeah.
That, like, the simulation is designed so that we hit certain walls in technology to prevent us from being able to actually achieve that
Yeah.
within the simulation.
This one website is saying the universe doesn't exist and it doesn't make sense why the world even became. It's pretty interesting. It's talking about space.
What do you mean?
Quantum foam. Well, it says the best theory physicists have for the birth of the universe makes no sense. It goes like this in the beginning, in the way this is how it's written. The very is not quite veriest. Beginning, there's something called quantum foam. It's barely there and can't even be said to occupy space because there's no such thing as space yet, or time. So even though it's seething, bubbling, flourishing, as foam tends to do, it's not doing so in any kind of this before the temperamental order. It just is, comma, all at once. So, just to sum up what I'm reading, they're saying space doesn't exist, and here's the reason why. And then it goes on to say, impossible,
Oh god, this
you
goes
say.
right. This fits right in with flat Earth theory.
Yeah, that's why
Go
I'm
on,
like,
go on.
I don't believe in flat Earth, so I don't know if I should continue reading
No,
this.
no.
But they're not talking about flat Earth. They're saying that Earth doesn't exist.
No,
We're
I'm
all in a
saying
simulation.
all flat Earthers believe that we are the center of the universe.
Oh. I don't know if they're
Like
gonna
every
go to
theory
that
I've
point.
read about when it comes to flat Earth is that God created this plane of existence.
Here,
anyway.
read this. It seems silly, but hey, why
Where's
not?
it? Where do I start?
Oh, impossible.
Okay.
It's right over here. Yeah.
Impossible, you say? Not exactly. As the Italian particle physicist Guido Tonelli has pointed out, it is actually possible to go faster than light. You simply have to imagine space-time and the relativistic limits imposed by it, not quite existing yet. Easy peasy. I wouldn't quite put it as easy peasy.
Yeah, I'm confused. What?
We just have to imagine it.
I guess so. You know,
okay.
Like time.
That's...
I do fuck with the whole time doesn't exist, because sometimes time goes like that. It's just fast.
And then other times it's really fucking slow.
It's really slow, especially when you're doing a job you don't want to do.
Or looking at the clock.
That too, yeah.
Time seems to go really fucking slow when you're watching each second go by.
Yeah.
But that's a whole argument about perception.
Oh yeah.
But besides, that's not even why the theory makes no sense. It makes no sense for the same reason every creation myth since dawn of creation makes no sense. There's no casual explanation. What that is to say made it happen in the first place. I mean, even the Big Bang has its holes, because in order for the Big Bang, I just closed your phone.
No,
sorry.
Right.
The Big Bang theory proposes this idea that like existence, universal existence, is like a sine wave, meaning it goes up and has peaks, and then it has valleys where it goes down. Yeah. And ultimately, if there is a Big Bang, there would be another Big Bang that would confirm.
We live in a simulation. Sorry, I had to show you while you were talking. It's
but basically, what I'm saying is, if there's a Big Bang, there's going to be a peak of there's going to be peaks going up and then going back down the sine wave. There's going to be another Big Bang which would destroy the universe and create it all over again. It's Azathoth.
Of course, yeah. Sounds about right.
God damn it, Lovecraft.
But this one, I don't know, it's quite a lot. It's saying that the simulation, it's about 50-50, whether we don't live in a simulation or we do.
I actually have an article that's literally titled here, Are we living in a simulation? Welp, scientists say there's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, that helps.
But I can't read that article because I have to pay to read it.
Oh, well, this one might be close to what you're looking at. I will show you if you'd like to read it.
Ever since the philosopher Nick Bostrom proposed in the Philosophical Quarterly that the universe and everything in it might be a simulation, there has been intense public speculation, blah, blah, blah.
Just like skipping past that.
Oh, yeah. Such public intellectuals such as Tesla, leader, and prolific Twitter Gadfly.
Oh.
Elon Musk has...
Beelzebub? I thought you said Godfly, so I'm like, Beelzebub, alright. What the fuck?
Have opined? No, fuck it. He's chimed in about the statistical inevitability of our universe, of our world being little more than a cascading green code. Recent papers have blah, blah, blah. These claims have... arguing that the chance we live in a simulation may be 50-50. These claims have been afforded some credence by reputation, by linguistics, no less esteemed than Neil deGrasse Tyson. I love listening to him talk about this idea. He's a fun one to listen to talk about this.
He is interesting. You've shown me a few of his stuff. I gotta look more into him.
He's a fun guy. And director Hayden Planetarium and America's favorite science popular. Okay, that's who Neil deGrasse Tyson is. We know who he is. Yet there have been skeptics. Physicist Frank Wilczek has argued that there's too much wasted complexity in our universe for it to be simulated. Building complexity requires energy and time. Why would a conscious, intelligent designer of realities waste so many resources into making our world more complex than it needs to be? It's a hypothetical question, but it may still be needed. Others, such as physicist and scientist or science communicator Sabine Hassenfelder, have argued that the question is not scientific anyway. Since the simulation hypothesis does not arrive at a falsifiable prediction, we can't really test or disprove it, and hence it's not worth seriously investigating.
Okay.
I would argue that there has to be some way to test if life is a simulation or not. I'd be willing to bet you in one of these articles there's like tests to back it up or not. But I love the idea. I'm gonna try to paraphrase this experiment, or this philosophical idea.
Yeah.
But basically that things don't exist until we know it's there. So basically, I could tell you I have a bag next on my desk for whatever reason.
We got an ASMR here.
Okay, so we got this bag with my medication in it. All right. Now I'm gonna tell you, this bag has my medication in it.
Mm-hmm.
Is my medication in this bag?
Oh, I don't know unless I open it.
Exactly. That
could be a bag full of, I don't know,
bag
plastic.
full of dicks.
No, dicks don't. No,
Dicks don't do.
I mean, what dicks are you shoving up your head?
Who knows? I might have a dick with alien eggs in it that sounds like this.
I was about to say plastic, but you're
or
thinking
it's just
about
a bunch
dicks.
of.
Okay.
Oh God. I went through a bag of baby dicks for a second there.
Ew.
Goddamn, I'm sorry.
Stupid fucking. What do they call those? The not baby showers. When you get married.
Dick mints.
No, not dick mints. Well,
It could be.
it does
dick.
sound like mints.
But for all you know, this could be a bag of dick mints and not
parties.
actually.
You know when you go
Yeah.
to Spencer's and those fucking mini dicks that they have, they just put on necklaces and shit because straight girls like dicks. So
Like dick candies.
yeah,
like
yeah.
little
They're
hard
like, look at
candies?
me, I'm getting married, and they wear dicks around their necks.
Weird. This is the
It's
America we live in.
Spencer's.
It's starting to seem more and more like this is a simulation. But
Very much.
the
so.
philosophical idea proposed here is that until you open the bag and you
course.
actually pull out the medication and see it for yourself that that's what it actually is, it doesn't exist.
It's just a bag in your hand.
It's just a bag in my hand, because the bag in my hand we know is real. But the medication inside it isn't real until we take it out of the bag.
Okay. I mean, that's one scenario.
No. That it's
or-
not actually there until we take it out of the bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like leaving your apartment. Life doesn't exist unless you leave.
Yeah, the universe outside of my apartment doesn't exist until you're
I'm
well,
stuck in
as we go
agoraphobia.
further and further into this podcast, you're loving the idea of agoraphobia.
Yeah, can I stay home still? I don't want to go to work tomorrow.
I'm not supporting the idea of you getting a stay-at-home job anymore because
I mean, that's what's happening soon if I keep this job.
oh my God. So we also have this idea of computationalism, the mathematical universe hypothesis.
Yep.
Morgue of Hyperianism
Oh, hey,
really
they're
likes
talking
this
about
idea.
Morgue.
Well, they're not actually talking about
Oh.
Morgue, but they're talking about the idea that Morgue is a big proponent of.
Oh, okay.
Is a philosophy of mind theory stating that cognition is a form of computation. It is relevant to the simulation hypothesis in that it illustrates how a simulation could contain conscious subjects as required by a virtual people simulation. For example, it is well known that physical systems can't be simulated to some degree of accuracy, or that they can be created to some degree of accuracy. If computationalism is correct, and if there is no problem in generating artificial consciousness or cognition, it would establish the theoretical possibility of a simulated reality. Nevertheless, the relationship between cognition and phenomenal qualia.
Qualia? What is qualia?
That's a good question. Qualia. The philosophy of mind. Art.
What?
So much deep thinky, I am broken.
Yeah, I mean, we are in a simulation, so maybe your brain's kind of malfunctioning and kind of like, fuck, do we stop? Like, what do we do?
Qualia meaning, in the philosophy of mind, qualia are defined as instances of subjective conscious experience.
Okay.
So
That's interesting.
I fuck with that, and I just lost my place in this. And
It's a simulation telling you to stop.
it's the simulation telling us that we need to stop looking into, is this a real simulation or not?
Oh no, I'm gonna research the fuck out of this more than usual. It's been a while.
You're gonna be at work and thinking about this. Like, none of this is real. Why do we even
Oh,
need...
especially being around people that are all like, look at me, I'm professional.
I'm a professional.
Yeah.
Get health insurance, and you're gonna have this and that and this and that.
Exactly.
Don't go to work.
I don't want to.
Anyway, Nevertheless, the relationship between cognition and phenomenal qualia of consciousness is disputed. It is possible that consciousness requires a vital substrate that a computer cannot provide, and that simulated people, while behaving appropriately, would be philosophical zombies.
Oh.
That is my favorite two pairing of words ever in my life. Philosophical zombies.
That's all right. That's never heard that one.
This would undermine Nick Bostrom's simulation argument. Humans cannot be a simulated consciousness if consciousness as humans understand it cannot be simulated.
But what fucks my mind up is reading these articles, reading these Google searches. Does that mean we are, for example, the theory that I read you about being a sim? Did our main big computer component forget and leave us doing whatever the fuck we want, and now we're researching this shit? But who wrote this?
Did they create The Sims and then walk away from the game while leaving it on?
Kind of, yeah, that. But what I'm trying to say is, us looking this up, it kind of like fucks in my head. Okay, if we're in a simulation, who wrote about this? Who was conscious enough to be like, hey, I'm the whistleblower, everyone. This is a simulation. Please believe me. But they're being locked up by the quote-unquote humans, but they're really robots in disguise or whatever. You know, viruses.
Robots in disguise.
Maybe that's what really they are. Police and all these other people are really, you know, viruses. Then they're taking us hostage because we tried, you know, being rebellious. Even in a good way, trying to look into, are we really alive? Are we in a...
But this is what brings me to my main argument against simulation theory. And as much as I fuck with this theory as a whole, my main argument is that in a simulated consciousness, why would they even leave it in? Why would there even be a piece of code that allows us to know about it, to talk about it?
But this is the thing,
to ponder about it.
I see what you're saying, but I can't help but being someone that believes in the paranormal. I'll give an example. There are people that are skeptics. I don't blame you. I was a skeptic. But you have people that give you evidence, and they even have video of it, and you'll be like, nope, that's not real.
Okay.
You pull the string.
Because there's a patch of code that says that, you know, there are going to be people who will look at simulation theory and just no matter how much evidence they throw at the wall at you, or throw at you, they're going to throw it at the wall, and they're going to be like, it ain't real.
Nope, they're stuck in that mindset. I'm not saying I agree 1,000%. But there's a part of me that's 50-50 that I wouldn't be shocked if we're in a simulation. But how do I hack that code? I want to have $1 billion. I want a bunch of money so I don't have to work ever again. And I just want to travel the world.
I want to travel the universe. Fuck
exactly.
all that.
I want to travel the rest of the simulation.
You know what? I changed my mind. Fuck Pokemon. Fuck Legend of Zelda.
Well, Legend of Zelda,
Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, the PC game, not the fucking game you can get on PlayStation, Xbox, and your goddamn tablet if you even wanted to. No, the PC version. That's the one I'd want to live in, where I can go and I can choose whether I want to be a Sith, a Jedi, or neutral. One where I can go and explore the universe and get into trouble and
of course
create my own lightsaber. That sounds fun as fuck.
But don't they get thrown in their form of jail if you kill a bunch of like younglings? You know.
I mean, Anakin got away with it and became Darth Vader, leader of the.
Well, did he get?
He got away with it.
Okay, see, I didn't watch all of it.
I mean, he had to lose some limbs and become a robotic.
That doesn't sound
hybrid.
That sounds painful at the beginning. I don't know. I don't know. All I'm saying is it makes sense to me that if we are in a simulation, of course there's going to be whistleblowers, just like paranormal, where people are trying to give you the evidence, but there are people that are stuck being like, no, this is reality. How else are we here? Evolution, you know? Okay, I agree with you. Evolution could be. That's why I'm saying I'm 50-50. I wouldn't be surprised.
Evolution makes more sense when you apply simulation theory on top of it, because it would, you know, that.
For sure. But I'm very open-minded to the idea that, you know, I also believe in law of attraction, 50-50 though. I need more evidence it's the whole consciousness of controlling your mindset, stopping and controlling that mind of being negative, like, oh, this isn't going to happen, then it happens because you kept putting it out there. and I need to take my own advice on that one. But I think we all do.
A little bit.
But I think if you fully control your mind of all the ones that I have followed, all the random people that talk about this stuff, they're like, no, you need to tap into a part of your brain that's like, no, I am wealthy, I'm happy, I am healthy, all those things.
I've heard that the common rebuttal to that type of manifestation doesn't work. You have to think I'm already.
You have to believe it. Oh,
I
you're
already
right. Yeah.
am abundant.
That's how you
I
say it,
already am. I already am on the path to getting my dream job.
Yeah, you have to believe it though. You have to be. You almost have to.
You have to be delusional about it.
Yeah,
it's that level of delusion. My perfect example always has been and always will be the perfect example of delusional until you finally make it. You fake it till you make it. Naruto.
I agree.
I'm
but
going
how
to
do
be
you not
Hokage.
lose your mind?
How do you not lose your mind? You just
In that
keep. You
process,
never
being
fucking
like
give up.
Naruto,
You gotta
yeah.
have the guts to never give up.
I agree.
That's why Naruto's story is just the perfect story of
It's the best
never
anime I've
giving
seen
up.
so far. I used to love Hellsing more, but now I love Naruto more.
I think it's called Black.
Butler? No, I'm kidding.
No, not
I know
Black
it has
Butler.
nothing to do with that.
I haven't watched it yet, but I want to watch it with you someday. But it's that anime where
It's a good anime. I know you said it was cheesy because you only watched one episode. You gotta give it a chance.
you're right. I actually saw some action scenes scrolling through Instagram.
Action scenes are dope.
Yeah, there
great.
was a good one where the butler is like standing there and he's like, "We're almost late for something," and then there's this huge explosion that goes on behind him while two people are fighting. I was like, okay, maybe I do got to give Black
would
Butler
really
a
like
chance.
it. You would like it. At one point, he throws spoons because he's a butler.
Why?
Because it's the comedy of it. He holds it in between each knuckle and he just like, but he has like strings that come out of his wrist, kind of in a way.
God.
I don't know. It's hard to explain Black Butler. It's just good to watch it. Just watch it.
Whatever this anime is called, but it's another example like the Naruto story, where he's living in a world where everybody is born with some sort of innate magical ability, and he, for some reason, does not have any. And then as time goes on, you realize his actual power is anti-magic, being able to stop you from using magic.
Yeah.
And that's how he ends up becoming the main wizard, warlock, whatever, by the end of it. Kind of like how in My Hero Academia, everybody has superpowers except for the main character, who by the end of it, I guess is supposed to be, I don't know, I haven't watched that one yet either, but
I haven't either.
Delusional. In order for manifestation to work, you have to have some level of delusion, but you also have to have the guts to never give up.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a tough
Getting
one.
back to
Where do you go
simulation
from
theory,
that?
though, where are
help but
all
think
the
about The
aliens?
Sims. Where are all the aliens?
Where are all the aliens? The Fermi paradox. Do you ever wonder why humans have not come in contact with aliens yet in the vast, unimaginable size of
claim
the
to have.
universe? Huh?
Some have claimed to have.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that is hoopla.
Probably.
You know what? As much as I love the idea that aliens exist,
Yeah.
okay, I also have a really hard time with the fact that they would A, even give a fuck about us, B,
Well, it all depends.
or B, even, like, be able to reach us yet.
Yeah.
You know? Because the level of technology needed to be able to do what a lot of people think aliens have done,
I
like
get that,
probe
yeah.
us and send these massive saucers into our atmosphere, or be able to, or one of my favorite alien theories is that they're more thought form and more spiritually ascended, and so they kind of just pop in and out of this universe. That they're not actually out there in some distant planet, they're actually out there in some distant universe.
Yeah.
I like that theory a lot.
That's an interesting one, yeah.
Fuck, where was I going with that?
That is a great question. When it comes to this kind of topic, I mean, there's so many different ways of talking about it. But at the end of the day, I feel like it all comes together. In
a way.
Like you have the code theory, you have the we're all organic humans, but we're just not locked into that consciousness of realizing that everything around us is a simulation. I don't know, I might be explaining that wrong, but the sim theory. That's all I can say. I don't mean to repeat that, but I mean, to me, it sounds like that makes the most sense if it really is a simulation.
Sorry, I got this gif of Morty with a knife up against or Rick with knife up against Morty's neck going, "Are you a simulation?"
Oh yeah, that episode.
But to go back more into the Fermi paradox, named after the Italian-American physicist Enrico Fermi, the paradox is a apparent contradiction between the lack of evidence for extraterrestrial civilizations and the various high estimates for the probability, i.e. the Drake equation. Perhaps there are no aliens in this simulation, or in this simulation. In this current reality, the easiest thing to do for the people behind the simulation is to simply simulate life in just one place of the universe. The universe might have just been created for us.
Okay. I found an article that says a scientist says he has the evidence that we live in a simulation. This was in
Wait, you said that there is
2024.
there is some evidence? I actually just scrolled down to the interest.
A scientist claims that in 2024.
I want to compare what yours says to mine because I have one part of this article that says there is some scientific evidence and it's creepy. So let's hear yours first.
Well, I always say this term wrong,
Falafel? I love falafels. Yay.
I hate how I
philosophy.
pronounce it. Thank you.
Oh, philosophers?
Yeah, it sounds like rafters.
Philosophers.
Yeah, I'm not embarrassing myself on this. Anyway, and scientists have pondered, I already embarrassed myself, pondered if we live in a simulated universe. And University of Portsmouth? Never heard of it. Scientist Melvin, I apologize if I'm pronouncing this wrong, Vosson, Vopson, Vospun. I don't know, I'm giving a German accent apparently.
Vospun.
I don't believes he has evidence. I should have just skipped that part. God damn it. Anyway, using his previous formulated second law of infodemics. How do you say that? I'm saying it way too quickly, aren't I?
Wait, where?
Oh, right. Where am I? Right
Infodynamics. Law of infodynamics.
I'm sorry, I said that way too quick. I'm trying to read quickly. This person, I can't say their last name correctly, claims that the decrease of entropy. I'm having issues today. I'm so sorry. Entropy.
Decrease of entropy?
I feel like I say that wrong too. Entropy. Entropy?
Entropy.
Whatever. Everybody's gonna say, "Wow, this one's an idiot."
No. This level
this
of deep
one's
think.
crow.
No, this
no,
level
my brain
of
stopped working.
this level of deep think is beyond us.
Sometimes, maybe. And information systems over time could prove that the universe has a built-in data optimization and comprehension.
Comprehension. Compression.
Oh my! Wow. Which speaks to its digital nature. While these claims warrant investigation, they are far from a discovery themselves and would likely need proof from the scientific community at large to seriously consider this theory.
He leans into this cinematic comparison to The Matrix, basically.
Of course. I don't blame him.
Apparently, in an article published on the website The Conversation this past October, the Vopson invoked the Wachowskis' sci-fi masterpiece around the same time he published a book on the subject, Reality Reloaded.
Okay.
Claims to have one thing that those before him lacked: evidence. So this is his cling to theory and
why he believes it's
In physics, there are laws that govern everything that happens in the universe. For example, how objects move, how energy flows, and so on. Everything is based on the laws of physics, Bobson says back in 2022. One of the most powerful laws is the second law of thermodynamics, which establishes that entropy, a measure of disorder and in an isolated system, can only increase or stay the same, but it will never decrease. Based on this famous law, Bobson expected that entropy in information systems, which his previous research defined as fifth state of matter, should similarly increase over time, but it doesn't. Instead, it remains constant or even decreases to a minimum value of equilibrium. This is in direct contrast to the second law of thermodynamics, which inspired Vobson to adopt the second law of information dynamics or infodynamics. We know the universe is expanding without loss or gain of heat, which requires the total entropy of the universe to be constant. Vobson wrote in the conversation, however, we also know from thermodynamics that entropy is always rising. I argue that this shows that there must be another entropy, information entropy, to balance the increase.
Yeah.
Vobson argues that this law plays a role in atomic physics, electron arrangement. See, now I'm starting to trip up on my words.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm out of one.
Cosmology, and biological systems. This last one is where Vobson makes a big claim. Contrary to Charles Darwin's idea that mutations occur randomly, mutations actually occur so that information entropy is minimized. Vobson analyzed the constantly moving, mutating stars, CoV2, COVID, and his paper on that investigation, published this past October, shows a unique correlation between the information and dynamics of genetic mutations. What this all adds up to in Vobson's estimation is that the second law of infodynamics could also be used to prove that we are living in a simulation. A super complex universe like ours, if it were a simulation, requires a built-in data optimization and compression in order to reduce the computational power and data storage requirements to run the simulation.
Well, now. Thoughts?
I mean, it's very well explained. I think that, in order for the simulation to work, you would need something to kind of balance it out so that there isn't an overload in data required based on how much is going on.
It's very interesting.
Hold on, I lost my place again.
Yeah.
A super complex universe like ours, if it were built... I already read that.
This is just... It's interesting to think about.
This is exactly what we are observing all around us, including in digital data, biological systems, mathematical symmetries, and the entire universe. All these claims require significant further testing and verification before even being considered plausible, as as IFL Science notes, there are many research papers refuting our digital existence as there are promoting its scientific inevitability. It's possible that Vobson's second law of infodynamics could lead to some more interesting discoveries. But the question first pondered by Plato remains unanswered. And that's how the article ends.
So they're summing up, so they're basically saying all of the things that have happened, example being COVID or what have you.
Basically, genetic mutations that wipe out entire species, like extincting, here's a good way of explaining it. Extinction level events also are explained by Vobson's second law, because what he's saying is that in order for us to not overload the system, there has to be something to wipe the slate clean, or at least minimize or at least slow it down so that there isn't, basically, if the computer detects that's running the system, detects that there is too much going on in the simulation, it'll auto-populate an extinction level event or some type of virus that wipes out a bunch of people, which seems to happen
quite often.
Based on actual study of plagues. It seems to happen every
few years, I think.
I think it's every 200 years.
Yeah. Maybe less, I don't know.
Or even every 20 years. Maybe. I can't remember. I'd have to double check that one, but
yeah.
there is quite a lot of study on plagues to support that idea.
I can see why they're saying they found their evidence. I mean, shit. So, where does that leave us thinking? So, how do we control our own reality then? How do we break out of quote unquote the Matrix? You know.
We need to find a Morpheus. We need to find a.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, that reminds me of the time. Did I tell you what happened to me at my old job?
I don't know. It could be a lot of things.
This brought me back to an old. Okay, this happened back in 2011, I believe. 2011. I was working in a retail job. I will not give away that information. I apologize. I will say I was selling jewelry. And a customer walked up to me. They looked, I shit you not. Do you know the second Matrix where there's the two twins with the blonde hair?
Yeah.
This person had short blonde hair. It wasn't long and dreads. They had the same skin tone, they looked like they were, what is that called? I don't know if it's a disease, but where it's like you're albino. They were an albino person, and they walked up to me and said, I've been looking to see you at some point. And I was very confused. I'm trying to remember word for word, but he goes, you should know me, you should recognize me. And I said, no, I don't recognize you. And they go, in due time you'll realize what's around you. I will see you soon. And then they backed away slowly and left.
Oh my god, you might have met a Men in Black.
I don't know. They were younger, though. It was really fucking weird.
That's fucking good. That's a good way to fuck with somebody.
Yeah.
That's a really...
They must have been bored.
Oh, man.
But
I want to try that.
they sounded like they were doing a whole Matrix thing on me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It was weird. It was really weird.
Nobody's done anything like that to me. How come I haven't experienced anything like that?
Don't fuck with people like that.
I wouldn't fuck with somebody like that because that could literally spiral somebody into insanity if it's the wrong person.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But it was very strange because I didn't recognize them, but they were like, "Oh, I know you." I'm trying to remember word for word. Yeah, I just remember that last part. In due time, you will remember or something like that.
You will remember, and you will. Wow.
Yeah, it was important or some shit. It was just really fucking weird. And they had this very serious look on their face, but a look of, like, I know you. I don't know how to explain it. They had a very... They didn't seem human. I'll put it that way. But I know they were human because my coworker next to me was just like, what just happened? Do you know them? Are they messing with you? I'm like, no, I don't know them. I don't know this person. Someone was hired. It was weird. That was the only really weird experience I had during, a job situation. I've had a lot of weird situations in a job experience, but not in the sense that came off almost paranormal in a way, or simulation type. I don't know how to explain it.
Were they well dressed?
Yes.
Describe the outfit to the best of your knowledge.
They were dressed well.
Like suit.
Shit. This is back in 2011, so I'm pretty sure I remember a suit and tie. But they were young. They looked like they were probably about 30.
I don't know. I think you met a Men in Black.
But why would they bother? Well, for years, even when I was a kid, I was always looking into this shit and messing with things like that.
There's that, and a lot of people have said that you have a
real.
light about you.
Okay. You're right. I know.
Not just me, not just because I love you, but a lot of people have said that about you.
I know.
So maybe there's a reason for that.
I don't know. I can't help but think. I always think the skeptical side of me that's, someone hired this person to fuck with me because they know I'm gullible and easily manipulated at times. I don't know. I that's how I used to think back then. I still can't help but think, I don't know.
You debate with yourself.
I debate shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to debunk things a lot.
Which brings me back to this piece of evidence, or at least, quote unquote scientific evidence that's creepy or whatever.
Okay.
MIT theoretical physicist James Gates has made a discovery that allegedly caused Neil deGrasse Tyson to sit back down in shock. Now, in an uninitiated superstring theory for the uninitiated, superstring theory is a concept that could unify all aspects of physics if proven right. While working on his superstring theory, he made an odd discovery. Gates claims to have identified what appears to be actual computer code embedded in equations of string theory that describe the fundamental particles of our universe. In short, he found error-correcting codes, the same error-correcting codes that you might find on the web browser you're using right now.
Oh, shit. I mean, that makes sense. I remember reading about an article. Remember I told you about this one where two computers were able to communicate with each other but using codes, and they became emotional, like sentient in a way.
Wait, back that up again. What?
I have to find this article still for you, but I can't remember where it happened. I thought it was Japan. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But they were working on computers and coding and all that stuff, and somehow they lost control of two programs that started
two AI
talking.
programs?
Yeah, two AI programs started communicating within each other, and they become emotional, and they were becoming sentient, and they had to shut them down because they were using different codes that they only could decode some of it, and that's how they realized, oh shit, they're becoming too sentient, we have to shut both of these two down. I have to find that article for you, but it was wild. If anybody knows that's listening, please email us.
victimmatrixpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, because I feel like someone out there had to have, whoever down the line will listen. What, did you find it?
No, I found something even better. I searched in AI programs fall in love, thinking that would get me the result. No, why people are confessing their love for AI chatbots.
Oh no, this is
It's
like that
even
movie.
worse.
What was that movie, Her?
Her?
Mm-hmm. You never heard of the movie Her?
Oh, actually, there's a trailer for, or people are falling in. What the fuck? What the fuck? This is real?
Oh yeah.
I just thought that this was just like something that people did for fun. I didn't think people actually were serious about it.
Oh no, it's real. People that are sad and lonely, you know, like, yeah.
Why men love AI girlfriends more than real girlfriends? What the actual... What?
Especially if they don't want to have physical touch and all that stuff. That probably works for them.
Okay, I'm going to read this Forbes article explaining titled "A Psychologist Explains Why It's Possible to Fall in Love with AI."
Okay.
Human-AI relationships are no longer science fiction, with the AI market projected to soar to a staggering $407 billion by 2027. The fusion of artificial intelligence into our daily lives has become inevitable. In this era of change, AI is also reshaping social interactions as well. Seemingly the way we love. As technology continues to evolve, so do the dynamics of human-AI relationships, with virtual assistants and chatbots being used or being able to simulate meaningful human interactions. AI has evolved far beyond mere functionality. It appears that humans are not only capable of forming deep emotional connections with AI, but can even experience romantic love towards it. Two reasons why that might be possible. The allure of anthropomorphism, the tendency to attribute human-like traits, emotions, and intentions to non-human entities, plays a significant role in how humans interact with and relate to AI. When AI exhibits behaviors, responses, and conversational styles reminiscent of human personality traits, individuals perceive it as having its own personality. This can include qualities such as empathy, humor, kindness, and even playfulness, which naturally elicit affection and fondness. Additionally, AI interfaces often incorporate design elements that mimic human social cues and gestures, such as facial expressions, tone of voice, and body language. In fact, a 2023 article found that AI-generated faces are now indistinguishable from human ones. Such cues can enhance the perceived humanness of the AI and evoke emotional responses from the users. AI also typically signals gender cues and cultural stereotypes of human assistants that can make it feel familiar and endearing. Anthropomorphism seems to blur the lines between human and machine. As humans engage in conversations and activities with AI over time, they might begin to attribute human-like intentions, motivations, and feelings to the technology. Okay, that makes perfect sense.
It does, yeah.
And
Makes
then
a lot of sense.
And then we have the triarchic theory of love. A 2022 study on human AI relationships found that based on the triarchic theory of love, which suggests that romantic love is a confluence of intimacy, passion, and commitment, it is possible to experience such love for an AI system.
Okay.
So, intimacy, the component refers to the emotional closeness, connection, and intimate bond shared between individuals. Pretty, simple. Passion, this involves the intense physical and emotional attraction between individuals. Makes sense.
Yeah.
This component, or commitment, reflects loyalty and the decision to nurture a relationship over time despite challenges. Consummate love, according to the theory, is the ideal form of love characterized by high levels of all three components. Researchers suggest that users can develop intimacy, passion, and passion for AI due to its impressive cognitive and emotional capabilities. These feelings can also enhance their commitment to using AI for a long period of time. The ability to display empathy is essential to promoting closeness in relationships. AI has been equipped to understand, interpret, and empathize with a variety of human responses, tending to our need to be loved, validated, and understood. This emotional capability allows it to simulate human-like interpersonal interactions, which can make users more likely to bond with and feel love for these systems.
Okay.
I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
No, throw it against the wall. Kill it. Because, no.
I mean, I'm over here trying to think of, okay, if the person doesn't want closeness with an actual human being, and think about it as like an asexual. They don't want to have sex. They don't want to be physically touched. I didn't mean to hit the microphone as I whacked the microphone.
Okay, when you frame it in that way, I totally get it.
That's the only way I'm understanding this is like, what if they're asexual? But asexuals still need physical love and that kind of thing. I mean,
well,
every
there
asexual
might
is
become
different.
a new... Oh, no, I was just wiping dust from it.
Oh, I was like, wondering, figure out your microphone now.
A new term for the type of person who falls in love with AI systems will be developed. It just will happen. AI is still very new. I'm surprised the term hasn't come out yet. If it has, I just haven't heard it yet. But
I think there is a term for that. I just don't know it. I don't remember.
But what I would say
There's a
to
term
that
for a lot
is,
of that.
okay, I know, for me personally, that wouldn't fucking work. I know for me, that just would never fucking work. But I do see why there are going to be some people who
hope
prefer
not.
that.
Hi. Damn.
No.
No, but I get what
Trust
you're saying.
me, you
yeah.
never have to worry about that. But I see why some people would want that, especially people who are incel types.
Yeah.
There's going to be, different versions of this program that's going to fit different types of people.
Yeah.
But it breaks my brain thinking of like the mental gymnastics I would have to go through in order for this to be preferable.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
I get that.
I feel like in a lot of situations, this starts off as I'm bored and curious, let's just see what happens kind of thing. Like how a lot of relationships start.
Okay.
On it.
I'm sorry, I'm a demisexual. I don't understand what you're saying. When I'm bored, I'm not seeking. If I was single, I wouldn't be seeking to date anyone.
It's the same reason why people go to fucking like dive bars to meet people.
No, I've never done that.
I know you've never done that, but I know a lot of people
demisexuals out there
meet
email
people that way, or like
Please.
they'll go to places where they
Tell
know
us how
that
you work too. No. Am I the only demisexual that's never done this? I'm so confused by what you're telling me.
But it's the same
But go
reason
ahead.
that someone's curious, like they go to some kind of an event like a Comic-Con or something where they know they're going to be surrounded with their people.
When I've gone to Comic-Con, I didn't think about, flirting. No, that's weird. For me, it was just like, I want to meet and make friends. I want just friends, platonic friends. I'm going to meet like-minded people. But I understand there are people like that. I get it.
Oh, there are definitely
But
some
bored and
horny
just like,
motherfuckers that go to
it's-
Comic-Con just to hook up.
I get it, because there's girls walking
That-
around in fucking nothing sometimes.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah, but those people want you to pay them. They don't want you to
I'm sure.
thirst over them. They want you to just give
they
you their money.
They want that too, though. They want thirsting and then pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want the attention.
I'm
Good on them.
I've never been to a Comic-Con, so I can't really say for sure if
It's
like they're
fun,
actually kind of
except
doing
for-
like almost an escort type thing.
I
But
mean, it looks like it sometimes. They're posing and they're letting fucking Deadpool grab their ass for a video. I've seen it. They grab their tits and shit, and I'm just like, are you both friends? Like, did you guys make a pact? What is going on?
or they're just extremely comfortable.
And they're just comfortable with their body. Good
Yeah.
for them.
See, you can understand
Each
that,
their
but
own.
you can't understand.
No, I do understand, but at the same time, I've never been bored where I'm like, I'm gonna go look for some ladies. Like, I'm not. I've never been to that point of boredom. I'm just like, I'm gonna go on VR chat. That was my form of boredom.
VR chat is your form of boredom. Well, you know
Yeah.
what?
Before I met you, it was hang out with a friend or two, or go on VR chat and fuck around. And do some flirting a little bit. Like someone says, oh, I like your voice. Okay, why? And then it turns into this whole bullshit of, you should do some ASMR. Okay, I'll lean into this. That
does
was
the
my
ASMR,
form of...
and then you find out that they have like a sexual thing for ASMR.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh shit,
Gotta
back
block
out.
this one.
Block, back out, quick. I didn't know it wasn't innocent. I didn't know.
But back on the simulation theory, there are physicists though that
Yeah.
think they've confirmed we're not living in a computer simulation.
Of course, I would love to hear it. Everybody would.
Their idea is that scientists have discovered that it is impossible to model the physics of our universe even on the biggest computer.
Oh, shit.
That's their whole
That's the
whole
reason?
premise.
Okay.
This is a short article, but
Oh.
scientists have discovered that. Okay, we already read that.
Mhm.
Theoretical physicists Zohar Ringel and Dmitry
That is a unique name. What was that?
I said Ringel, but it could be Ringel.
Yeah.
I don't know. And Dmitry Kavrazin from the University of Oxford and the Hebrew University in Israel applied the Monte Carlo simulations
I've never heard that.
computations used to generate probabilities
Okay.
to quantum objects moving through various dimensions, and found that classical systems cannot create mathematics necessary to describe quantum systems.
Mhm.
They showed this by proving that classical systems can't erase the sign problem, a particular quirk of quantum Monte Carlo systems of gravitational anomalies.
Anemone.
Anemone. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Like warped space-time. Except in this case, the researchers used an analog from condensed matter physics. Therefore, according to them, it just can't be done.
Okay.
The notion of a simulated universe isn't new. Blah blah blah. Yep. We talked about that. Yep.
Okay.
All this being said, some physicists say that we won't ever be able to prove definitively that we're not in a simulation because any evidence we collect could itself be simulated evidence.
It just sounds like it's very 50-50 still. It really does.
It continues to just go in a circle.
It really does.
It goes in a circle.
Or a triangle. Because some say it doesn't exist, but then you have up here where it's like, hey, it's 50-50, then back down to, I don't know, 50-50, and then back down. You know, I think of a triangle with this one.
I think you're right about that. I
I
think
don't
you're
know,
right
I
about
can't
that.
help but think of a triangle with that.
It's a circle.
It's a circle.
A third.
I mean, I guess it could circle back to, are we? I don't know. Is this unsolved? Oh no, I'm stealing from the two Shane and Ryan and Shane. Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, I was going to say, like, the old show back in the 80s.
Oh, that
This
show.
week on Unsolved Mysteries. Who gives a fuck about Bigfoot? News update. No one gives a fuck about Bigfoot.
Oh no.
Sorry, that was a
Without
Tourette's guy
swearing.
one.
Oh, it was?
That was a Tourette's guy bit.
I don't know much about Tourette's guy. You've only shown me maybe 2 to 3
I
episodes.
thought he
or
was dead
shows.
because he wasn't uploading for a while.
Oh no.
But then we revisited his channel not that long ago, and we found out he's uploading new shit. And after seeing his new stuff, it's very obvious he's been faking Tourette's this whole time.
That's fucked
It's like
up.
very, very obvious. But people love it because he
Yeah.
says all the cringe and obscene things that he says all the quiet parts out loud. That's why people love him.
Okay. But it sounds like everything we're saying still sounds unsolved. Unless
It's gonna remain unsolved for a while.
Unless someone like us find out and we break the matrix and we are like, oh shit. But here's where my thoughts go to with as you know, but practicing astral projection, lucid dreaming. I wonder if that's a form of getting out of the matrix, because you're sleeping, quote unquote, your body is sleeping, but you can astral project. You can go into lucid dreaming after practicing for years, like I've been doing, and many others. And it's also government proven. The government fucks with this shit too, you know? So does that mean we're leaving the matrix, or is it just our spiritual being? Are we really alive?
Now,
and
I
we're
like
not-
the idea that if you
Yeah.
practice lucid dreaming and astral projection for a long enough period of time and get so fucking good at it, you can send your spirit, self
anywhere you want to go.
anywhere,
Anywhere.
including outside of the simulation. I fuck
Which
with
I have
that
not
idea.
done. I have not met any aliens.
I fuck with that idea really
So-
hard, but it also kind of sounds like DMT.
It does, yeah.
It kind of
It's
sounds
very
like the
similar to
DMT
that.
experience.
That's why people in the community that, teach you if you're new at astral projection. Astral projection is very different from lucid dreaming, as you know.
Yeah.
But when they teach you that, they explain that it's very much like being on a DMT trip, but you're actually doing it without the drugs.
And you're not
able
meeting little
to.
gnomes.
What?
A lot
you're not
of
meeting little
people,
gnomes?
a lot of people who've done DMT, they
They meet little gnomes, little people.
I actually have an article about it, and
What?
I haven't read it yet, but I have an article that I was going to read
I've never heard that.
that explains what the little gnomes are. Here we go. A Big Think article. The DMT elves people
Okay.
meet while tripping.
Are they
DMT
little?
is arguably the most powerful psychedelic drug on the planet, and we produce it through our
I
fucking
was about
pineal
to tell
gland.
you
Isn't
that.
that fucking
I-
amazing?
I was about to tell you that with astral projection, that's where you learn it. Is
We've officially degraded ourselves in this podcast to the level of Joe Rogan Experience. Just, I
I
apologize to the
apologize.
audience for,
didn't
for
realize.
bringing this to the level of Joe Rogan Experience. Have you done DMT? Let's pull up the video of that bear fighting another bear.
well, for me, no. I've only done salvia for that kind of psychedelic shit.
I praise you for having experienced a
do it
high
again.
level of salvia
I
and
would do it
surviving
again.
it.
I know. I did level 6. You're supposed to start at level 1.
Well, I imagine it's like any video game.
It's
You don't
amazing.
start on the 6th floor of the game.
Exactly.
You're gonna run into bosses that you can't beat yet.
Oh, I sure did.
You don't have the right level
I
of
sure
weapons and
did.
armor.
I learned about some things I was scared of.
But according to this article, researchers recently surveyed more than 2,000 DMT users about their encounters with entities while tripping, finding that respondents often considered these strange encounters to be positive and meaningful.
Oh.
The majority of respondents believe that the beings they encountered were not hallucinations. This
Oh, wow. I want to meet them.
I want to meet them too.
That
They
sounds
sound like
fun.
fun. I mean, I don't think they look like they do in the picture
Oh,
at the
Look
top.
at them.
Like, this looks like some shit that like
They're
I
not
would.
wearing any clothing. They're
But I
just
also
vibing.
picture them being like amorphous and just kind of like constantly moving, but not quite
It's like
being.
little like ghosties.
Kind of like when you're
Like,
dreaming.
yeah.
Like when you're dreaming and things aren't quite solid?
Oh, for me, everything's solid.
Well, okay.
When
I'm describing a certain type of dream.
Okay.
You know, not
I'm always lucid
not everybody
dreaming,
has.
even if I don't want to.
Not everybody has super vivid dreams all the
My
time.
vivid dreams are too much. Sometimes a lot.
Oh God.
But I've never met these little people, these little elves. That's interesting. But then again, I've never done DMT, so maybe I need to start.
Me either, but they call it the businessman trip because it only lasts for 15 minutes.
Oh shit, we gotta get some DMT. But we have to test it first.
And I think they call it the businessman trip because it's just long enough for you to take the drug while on a lunch break.
Yeah. I guess so.
And then go right back to...
Oh no, I would not go back to work after that. I would go to take a nap.
Oh, but apparently your experience on DMT feels
Yeah.
like a lifetime.
Oh wow.
Like
so it's like salvia. Salvia, I was told it was only 5 minutes that I was out. But I felt like I was gone for 2 days.
Yeah.
It felt like that for me.
But there are people who have gone through their entire DMT experience and woken up thinking that they had this whole other life.
Oh yeah.
Some
of them went to psychosis probably.
and they want to go back
Mhm.
and be with that person they met in the.
That's sad.
It is sad.
Oh no.
I know.
Ah.
But according to the article, some people are convinced these beings exist in a reality that is separate or invisible
They
from
only
our
show
own.
up when you're on DMT?
Yeah. The
I get
form and nature of the entities people encounter after taking DMT vary in reports, but one thing remains curiously constant. That's a tough one. Say that one 5 times fast. People tend to rank these encounters among the most meaningful experiences of their lives. For some people, these encounters change their beliefs about reality and the existence of an afterlife and God.
Okay.
A recent survey provides some of the most detailed information about these encounters to date, published in the Journal of Psychopharmacology. That's a hell of a word right there.
Yeah.
Lots of letters.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, 2,561 adults about their single most memorable encounter while with a being or beings after smoking or vaporizing DMT.
Okay. How do you get this DMT? Where is it?
Some guy in a back alley, or you go to
No.
just the right,
I want to go
just
to the right person
smoke
where
shop.
I'm still gonna test it. I don't trust them, but still.
Okay. The article goes on to say the encounters felt more real than reality, according to
That makes
81% of respondents. People described the entities in different ways. The most commonly chose labels were being, guide, spirit. Hold on. Being, 60%. Guide, 43%. Spirit, 39%. Alien, 39%. Or helper, 34%. This math is not adding up.
No, it's not. No, not at all.
That's why I wasn't going to say it, but then I just went and said it.
Yeah.
Other labels selected by small portions of respondents, ranging in the 10 to 16%, included terms like elf, angel, religious personage, or plant spirit, and very few, ranging in the 1 to 5%, reported terms gnome, monster, or a deceased person.
No, I like this plant spirit. I like that.
I liked plant spirit. That one
Yeah.
sounds cool.
That one sounds really innocent and sweet. And
Did
just
I tell
wanna
you
protect
that they
you.
found out recently? I think I showed this to you on Instagram recently. They found out that plant life is more sentient than we ever thought possible
Oh,
because
I
they have
know.
photoreceptors
I
all throughout
already
their
knew
body and
that,
shit.
Yeah.
Oh God, I love
The
that.
studies of Wicca and paganism, I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you break a flower, when you rip it out of the ground, that little crack sound is them crying.
Don't tell me that.
I'm sorry, but it's true. Well, I don't know if it's
Now you're making me
plant
feel
science.
bad about that flower I gave you.
I'm sorry. That's what I learned in plant science, though. That little crack sound is it's crying.
Only 9% said that the being existed completely within themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Most described the beings as positive, blah, 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 sacred, benevolent, intelligent,
Totems.
blah, blah,
I
blah,
don't know.
blah. Most received a message during the encounter. About 2/3 of the respondents said that they received a message, task, mission, purpose, or insight from the entity encounter experience.
Oh shit, cool.
What kinds of messages? Some people
Yeah.
were shown that death isn't real, that
Oh.
everything and everyone is connected. Others had personal insights revealed to them, such as bad behaviors that they should stop.
Oh wow.
Some messages were strangely practical. One respondent said the beings revealed the location of a Zippo lighter that had been missing.
That's great.
It was buried
Alright.
deep in a couch, go figure. Oh, God. There was also a respondent who said
I feel
a
bad
being...
for that person. They didn't get a really deep answer. They just like, hey,
This
here's where
one's-
your lighter is.
This one suck. I hope if I ever take DMT that I don't get this experience.
Yeah.
That the being was teaching them the rules and regulations of the NFL. I would fucking cry.
I'm like, I don't want to know though.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Dude, like, I don't care about sports. Why are you doing this to me? That to me would be the equivalent of a bad trip.
It would be.
Oh, God.
You're just yelling at the little being, please stop. I don't
Oh,
care.
God, you cute little bean. Could you stop? You're fucking killing my vibe, dude.
Stop telling me about this. I'm not a sports fan. Why don't you know this?
The encounters were often followed by lasting changes in well-being and beliefs. About 1/4 of respondents said that they were atheists before the encounter, but only 10% of them said they were after.
Oh.
They got to be some strong-willed, stubborn motherfuckers, I'm betting.
Yeah.
Additionally, approximately 1/3 of respondents reported that before the encounter, their belief system included a belief in ultimate reality, higher power, God, or universal divinity, but significant larger percentage of respondents reported this belief system after the encounter.
Okay.
After
That's fascinating, though. Very curious.
What's more, 89% of respondents said that the encounter led to lasting improvements in well-being or life satisfaction. Why? Researchers suggest that ontological shock, the state of being forced to question your worldview, may play an important role in enduring positive life changes in attitudes, moods, and behavior attributed to those experiences.
Okay.
As such, it is possible under appropriate supportive set of conditions, DMT could show promise as an adjunct to therapy for people with mood and behavioral problems.
Give your
It
kids
just makes me think of
DMT.
give your kids.
I'm sorry. Just, make sure they're in a controlled environment. They're safe. They got a bunch of pillows around them. A fort
I think of
with a bunch of pretty lights and flowers. I
a
don't know.
room padded but with squishmallows.
Yeah, there you go. Then they're safe. Then they learn about their behavior issues, and then they meet these little beings.
But it also makes me think of like ayahuasca. Like,
I do want to try ayahuasca, but I don't look forward to the whole shitting your pants and vomiting.
well, you don't have to deal with that. That's why they have watchers and people who
I
take
know,
care of you
but
during the
still,
experience.
you're doing it. You're shitting your pants.
But you don't know it because you're going
You
through
sure?
you're going through trials
You
on
sure?
ayahuasca.
That's
Yes.
how I learned about it, that they're shitting their pants because the people that went through it, they
In
knew they were
you-
shitting
in
themselves.
Your physical body, yes, but in your
It's almost
head,
like your physical body's dying.
but in your head, you're going through trials and tribulations,
Of
which is the whole
course.
point of ayahuasca. It's
Yeah.
kind of like
I don't
like
know.
fighting your shadow self, but
Mhm.
in your head.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd want to try it.
like
I don't
Dark
know.
Link or Dark Naruto or
Of
Dark
course.
Ichigo or
Of
know,
course.
every
Sounds
great
worth
story
it.
has it.
Sounds better than therapy. More effective.
I don't know. It might not work for everybody,
I don't know.
but
I've heard that it helps PTSD.
I wonder.
That's what I've read about it. That's why I really want to try that. Helps with trauma, helps with all that stuff. Yes, you probably go through some dark shit while you're going through that trip, but
Oh, holy shit.
what?
The study also noted that DMT encounters have a lot in common with near-death and alien abduction experiences,
Oh,
which
wow.
also have been shown to produce long-lasting changes in personal belief.
Oh wow. Okay.
Do DMT entities actually exist in some other dimension, or are they hallucinations that the brain generates when its visual processing system is overwhelmed by a powerful tryptamine?
That's interesting. I wonder.
That's a great question. I love the question. The
I do
answer,
too.
the answer is going to take some time to figure out.
Of
but
course,
I
because
love.
it could be the side effect of the drug if a lot of people have seen these little beings on only DMT. I don't know.
I know, just the
What?
words "only" and DMT next to each other
Oh.
makes me think of OnlyFans, only DMT.
Oh, yeah. Makes
Oh
sense.
man, the late American ethnobotanist Terence McKenna believed that DMT beings, which he called machine elves,
Machine elves.
were real. Here's how he once described one of his DMT experiences. I don't know what Terence McKenna sounds like, but this is, how I'll go for it. All right.
Okay.
I sank to the floor. I experienced this hallucination of tumbling forward into these fractal geometric spaces made of light, and then I found myself in the equivalent of the Pope's private chapel, and they were
What?
insect elf machines proffering strange little tablets with strange writing on them, and
What?
I was
Did it
aghast.
say Advil?
No, I didn't say Advil at all.
No, I said, did it say Advil? Because it said that there was writings on the pill. So I'm like, did it say Advil? It did say something else.
I didn't say pills either. I said tablets.
Oh, when I hear tablets, I think pills.
Oh, okay.
Because some people in pharmacy, because I worked in a pharmacy at
tablets.
one point, they say
Yeah.
tablets. They don't always say pills.
Well, tablets could
Sorry.
also mean what kids play with.
Oh, I wasn't
you know,
thinking of that.
or artists, kids artists, whatever. Or
It's funny that you thought
archaic
what
tablets
kids
like.
no, kids shouldn't have fucking tablets. I disagree with this. I think artists first, because I don't think kids should be allowed to have tablets. They're too young. Can't trust those little shits with tablets.
They should only have YouTube Kids and kids games, kids educational games on them,
Exactly.
and not have the ability to find,
But medicine is
Evil
called
Thomas the
tablets.
Train.
Anybody that wants to email us, you can correct me if you'd like. But I worked in a pharmacy at one point. Not for long, but I did it. I know
Even
someone
though
said
you shouldn't.
tablets. I know I
even though you shouldn't have, you did.
I know I didn't go to the classes for pharmacy, but they let me. Until they realized, oh, we fucked up. Counted pills and everything. People said tablets.
And I was aghast, completely appalled, because in a matter of seconds, my entire expectation of the nature of the world was just being shredded right in front of me. I've never actually gotten over it.
Oh, wow. All right,
poor
so
man.
What did he go through? He
DMT
saw-
experience.
No, I know that, but he experienced what I heard out of that whole thing. Little beings handing out tablets, like acid tablets? Like what? Like I think pills.
No, they were like little. I'm imagining what he means by tablets is he means like stone tablets, like old tablets with like
Okay.
ancient writing on it
That
and
makes
stuff.
sense. Okay.
Because he explains, with strange writing on them.
That makes sense. Okay.
He goes on to say, these strange, self-transforming machine elf creatures. What a fucking concept right
Yeah.
there. We're speaking in such a we're speaking in a colored language which condensed into rotating machines that were like Fabergé eggs, but crafted out of luminescent superconducting ceramics and liquid crystal gels.
That's interesting.
His description of it sounds fucking amazing. I want
Yeah.
his DMT experience.
I guess so.
I'm done with the voice, but he says all this stuff was just so weird and so alien and so un-English able that it was a complete shock. I mean, the literal turning inside out of my intellectual universe.
Of course, yeah. Sounds wild. Sounds like he might have
He
experienced
experienced something transhuman for sure.
Yeah.
But
Oh, it's
was
wild.
so far from the first to believe that DMT is a doorway to other realms.
Yeah.
I think this article is about to start talking about DMT. Whoa, hold on. Ayahuasca, you're right. Okay. I was right.
What?
But they describe it as a psychedelic brew.
Oh, okay. So we had ayahuasca, not DMT. Correct?
No.
Oh.
The article goes on to explain that he was far from the first to believe that DMT is a doorway to other realms.
Oh, okay.
Indigenous peoples such as the Amazon basin have used ayahuasca in religious ceremonies for centuries, though no one is quite sure when they first started experimenting with the psychedelic brew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Habaro people of the Ecuadorian rainforest believe that ayahuasca allowed regular people, and not just shamans, to speak directly to the gods.
The way you said that. Alright, sorry.
Cha-cha-cha. Charmin.
Do you need to wipe?
The bears aren't just Charmin.
No.
They're the Charmin shamans.
So I was taking a sip of water when I was like, alright.
This toilet paper isn't just right. Why DMT Charmin shamans? Why are you telling me I'm not using the right toilet paper?
Yeah. That would be the new commercial for, Charmin. Is that how you say it?
Charmin. Yeah.
Charmin, okay. Now it's fucking with me. Charmin.
I'm fucked up, man. This is too good. You're actually in that room that the Charmin bears are always in.
I'd be very confused. I'd be like, all right, I'm definitely tripping because I'm not having an amazing experience. I'm envisioning these.
I'm envisioning them kicking down the bathroom door while I'm on the toilet, and they're like, "You've been using the wrong fucking toilet paper this whole fucking time.
But
Look." Yeah. I'm gonna pour blue liquid on it to show you it doesn't hold enough. It doesn't hold enough. Here, just take the Charmin toilet
paper.
paper.
No, fuck you. I got Scott toilet paper. Shit's better. Fuck out of here, you stupid bear. Wiping your ass in front of me. Get out of here. No one let you in here. Oh, wow.
Oh. My brain has just had all the information it can possibly consume for the day.
Oh,
I'm feeling that. The 19th century Ecuadorian geographer Villavicencio, I hope I said that right, wrote of other Amazonian shamans. I'm still doing it. Shamans who used ayahuasca known as Vine of the Dead to contact spirits and foresee enemy battle plans.
What is the Vine of the Dead?
Ayahuasca.
Oh, I didn't know it was called the Vine of the Dead.
Apparently in the 19th century, that's what they were called. Ultimately, nobody knows exactly why DMT beings take the forms that they do, or whether they're figments of overstimulated imaginations. And the answers
50-50.
might be besides the point.
Again, 50-50 with this shit.
Yeah.
What are we playing, the 50-50 game online? What is this shit?
It's coin flip. Everything's coin flip.
It's all coin flip.
Oh God, I think my brain has been fucking broken. Anyone listening, anybody out there on the radio waves who's stood the test of time, who can shut the fuck up, who has made it this far, God damn, I fucking praise you. I would gladly entertain more information about this. I would gladly entertain more interesting topics that we should dive face first into. Yeah. victimmatrixpodcast@gmail.com. If you're not already following us on all of the things, make sure you're following us on Instagram, whatever your podcast platform of choice is. And I think they're doing reviews on Spotify now.
They are?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and you can do comments. So,
oh shit, where have I been, under a rock? I didn't know
you don't listen to Spotify podcasts, or at least not.
Yes, I do.
I don't think you pay
Distractable.
You don't pay for it.
Shit.
So maybe that's why you haven't seen it. You got to get the paid version.
When I have enough money, sure.
But if you are listening to us on Spotify Premium, you could comment and you can say cool stuff and tell us how bad of a job we're doing.
Don't put negativity out there. Come on. We're in a simulation. Don't put out the negative.
I refuse to simulate.
Yeah.
They gonna have to assassinate.
That's a song you haven't put out yet, though.
You're
So
right.
You're confusing.
You're right. And that's your little Easter egg for making it this far.
Yeah.
That's a Vexahex song that has not come out yet.
Yeah, sorry I'm not a musician. I can't sing along with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do drawing or painting maybe if I have the money for better paint.
You could paint me
Better paint
breaking out of
products.
the simulation.
Oh, there we go.
Like
All right.
literally ripping my face in half, coming out of
Okay.
the simulation, and there's like bits of code falling.
Oh, that'd be good.
See, if you let me sit here long enough and propose ideas like this, I'll
That'd be
just
fun.
keep spitting random bullshit at you, and you'll be
Sounds
like,
great.
"But I'm only halfway through painting the first idea."
Yeah.
Please,
it all
one
down.
idea at a time. I can't write this down fast enough. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? This is why I relate to whoever Snap is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who said
turning
he?
into ASMR again? And just snapping into it.
No, he's that social media guy I told you about. His
Who?
name is like Gary V. Gary V.
Oh, okay.
I relate to him in the sense that, like, you know, for a while I couldn't just use I can't hold a physical diary. I can't write
I love
and do
doing
that
the
form of
old-fashioned
diarying
way.
or journalism or journaling.
I
Sorry,
don't know.
journaling.
I like having a book in my hand.
I can't do it. The
Complete
ADHD
polar
takes
opposite,
over.
yeah.
The ADHD takes over, and my mind's already on the next thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I sometimes I struggle with using like Google Docs for diaries or for
Really?
journalism. Journaling.
What?
Brain, please keep up with me.
Yeah.
But talk to text makes it a million times easier.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Talk to text, digital text format, you know, that works really well for me.
Makes sense.
Why did I bring that up? I don't fucking know or remember, but
That's fine.
anyway, make sure you follow us on all the things. Make sure
Yeah.
you're liking the stuff. Make sure you're sharing this podcast with your grandpa.
If you want me to ramble more, I will. I just have to be comfortable. Sorry, I didn't ramble along with her, but
You rambled.
not
You did your
enough.
rambles a
No, I
little
don't
bit.
ramble enough.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't think I do.
You
And
should
I'm
ramble
sure-
bramble more often with us.
Yeah.
But we got to give you the right topic. Like, once we do our
the
Mothman
whole
series.
simulation shit, I'm fascinated with, but it also gets me deep thinky, and then I get kind of quiet because I'm thinking about this is not real.
Nothing's real.
Nothing's real. I can control my reality if I really break out of the simulation.
So
You know?
we give up on a 9-to-5 job, right?
I
we
wish.
go live in the woods
I
and we
fucking
focus
wish.
on astral projection. We live out of my car.
I don't want to be homeless.
Well,
I'm
we
good.
wouldn't be homeless. Our home would be my car.
Yeah, but how do you pay for the car?
Well, they can't
You just keep running. from the-
repossess my car if I
Yeah.
just keep moving around.
Oh.
Yeah.
So is that really how they do it? Is that how
No,
the
that's not really
gypsies
how they do it because we'd eventually get pulled over.
Oh, see?
I have to
See what
keep
I mean?
making payments somehow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So that whole theory doesn't work.
you're right.
Can't do that.
You're right.
Unfortunately, I have to do a 9 to 5 still.
No.
So.
OnlyFans.
Uh.
... Anyway, Victim Matrix podcast or Victim Matrix OnlyFans account.
No. No.
Well, believe it or not, there are some musicians who are moving over to OnlyFans.
Are
Not
they showing their
just,
dicks? Like, what
not
are
just
they
to show
doing?
their dicks. OnlyFans is not just for porn.
I forget this. I forgot it.
Yeah.
I always think it's about porn.
Yeah, they were actually going to shut down the porn side of it and try to make an
Really?
OnlyFans that's only not porn.
Really?
Yeah, there was a whole thing. It failed miserably.
Oh, all the
Um,
people that like to show their nudies were kind of like, fuck you. Can't take this away from me, which I respect that.
Yeah, if you want to show your tits for money, like by all means.
You know, do your thing.
Shove the biggest possible toy inside of you and then put it behind a paywall for $50. I don't care. Do it. Do your thing. Like, everybody has a right to earn income that way.
Rambling.
We're rambling in the outro again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Victim Matrix, no OnlyFans unless it's not sexual. Like what?
No, we
don't
do an
put that out
OnlyFans
there.
instead of a Patreon. That's what we do.
Um,
We put it all behind.
If alright, I'm My brain's on simulation, so if we're putting that into a simulation.
Well, we're about to jump into the next simulation, which is Dream World. We're about to go night-night.
Night.
Yeah, it's fucking, what, 111?
Don't tell people
111.
that.
It's 111.
Don't tell people. They might be able to put the dots together of the
That's just when
time
we
zone.
recorded the episode. They're not. They can't tell
True.
what
I always
time
overthink
zone
this.
we're in.
I was on VR chat a lot, not in recent, but in my past.
your anonymous is showing.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What?
Well, like,
Where?
don't tell your time. I forget that.
I
It
didn't
doesn't
tell what
matter.
time zone we're in. I told what time I'm into the ether.
Yeah, I know. That's fine.
Oh God, this
My
ending
sleepy voice.
sucks.
No, it doesn't.
Thanks for listening,
I'm just
guys.
tired today.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Thanks
Yep.
for listening.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's yeah.
Hopefully it met your expectations. Hail Satan, hail Lucifer,
Hail thyself.
hail Beelzebub, and Astaroth,
Blessed
and
be
Lilith.
as well. There are pagans out there.
and blessed be.
Yeah.
Fuck Yahweh. Yahweh can go to hell
Who's
and
that?
back. Yahweh is the Abrahamic God.
Oh, fuck that guy. Fuck
Yeah.
him in the ass.
Yeah.
With a 10-foot pole.
Shove him all the way down into the flat Earth.
Yeah.
Um,
Alright.
into the body of the turtle that the Earth is sitting
What
on.
about the spaghetti monster?
The spaghetti monster is out
So
in the
it's
voids of
stretching.
space.
Oh,
The
okay.
spaghetti monster is actually Azathoth.
Far away talking. Moving
Yeah.
moving chair.
Bye.
Bye.